Human existence is at a crossroads. The balance between humans and nature is being severely challenged, driven by a relentless appetite for consumption, none more so than in electronics. We throw away cell phones, computers, and appliances too frequently, creating mountains of electronic waste.
The size of the market in the next 10 years for microelectronics is going to be on the order of $1 trillion.
People, especially in the Western world, want faster internet, ChatGPT, and self-driving cars, which require electronic chips to be made smaller. And this comes at a huge environmental cost. The bottom line is that 4% of the population uses 24% of the planet's extracted resources. Every year, the world produces 50 million metric tons of electronic waste, while the microchip industry uses unreplaceable scarce minerals, over 200 terawatt-hours of energy, and over 250 billion gallons of water. This is neither scalable nor sustainable and cannot continue. 21st century electronics need next-generation solutions offering higher performance with less energy consumption, while using fewer materials, more repair and reuse, and end-of-life modular disassembly into separate waste streams. To spearhead this effort, thought leaders from industry, academia, and government have launched the Futur-IC Global Research Alliance.
The overall energy consumption in data center is continuing to increase. And I believe that optics now is really the front end to be able to making good impact, to make system in terms of data transfer to be more energy efficient, higher bandwidth at reasonable cost.
The unrelenting demand for more and more functionality has pushed for smaller and smaller electronic transistors and devices, packed more densely into ever larger computing chips. In the process, the heat generated from electrical signals carried across these chips by thinner and thinner metal lines has skyrocketed. Electronic photonic integration is a key ingredient in a new vision that seeks to limit this runaway heat load by replacing a single monolithic chip with a cluster of smaller chips that run on and link together by a high-speed network of light. A network that, just like fiber optics, carries enormous rates of data with near negligible energy loss.
It was a very exciting time in the industry for us. I think we're at the cusp of integrating photonics capabilities more readily into electronic systems.
There are many things that we need still to decide as community, and by community I mean scientific community and industrial community, on what are the figures of merit that we're going to follow for an ecologically responsible microchip industry.
We're seeing electronic products now having a first life and then being reused, remanufactured, repaired, upgraded, and having maybe a second or third life.
We need people from all disciplines to be part of the team generating these environmental innovation ideas. And so we really need tools that are much more welcoming to a much broader set of backgrounds. Earthster is an open web-based platform for doing life cycle assessment. It's very geared toward open exchange of information across the supply chain. We identify the hotspots, the processes, the activities, the drivers of the impact, climate impact, water consumption.
And we can see where the hotspot is.
If we could connect people and connect the modeling, then all the learning that's happening across my supply chain can inform me and I can pass that to my downstream value chain partners.
We're struggling to get staff and get people trained in this area.
By 2030, the Semiconductor Industry Association is already forecasting we won't have enough workers to fill some of these future jobs. What's really needed here is an effort, by leveraging online education in particular, to help disseminate a robust semiconductor curriculum that university professors and community college instructors and teachers can adapt to their own teaching needs. There will be a series of online modules that will have interactive components in them. In a kind of playful mode of engagement, they may begin to understand trade-offs in various controls for the amount of water, the amount of chemicals that are used, the amount of waste that gets generated. If we can start to teach to young learners about the processes that built these incredibly interconnected materials, in them, I think, will germinate the next innovation. How can we design these things to be disassembled in a smarter way and return these materials back to nature? We don't have the luxury to litter this planet with mountains of e-waste. We have to find a way to recover all those materials, to remine them from this electronic waste and reuse the copper, the glass, the aluminum, the silicon. There's a real opportunity for the computer chip industry and the semiconductor industry to become stewards of responsible manufacturing, where their insight on using chemicals that have fewer problematic wastes, such as forever chemicals, what are called PFAS chemicals.
How do you accelerate innovation? How do you create this ecosystem of partners who can build a community, who can communicate about their thought leadership, who can then collaborate to solve specific problems? And what can we do as engineers is huge, because we think along multiple dimensions. We think about materials, we think about people, we think about processes, we think about tools, we think about data. With all that information and all the expertise in this world, I strongly believe if we create that cohesive community, we should be able to solve that.
There's so much discipline and intellectual engagement in that microelectronics industry that they should be able to lead the solution to these problems in all industries.
This is the role that I think MIT is playing here, is opening this discussion and saying, we need to talk about this, come here, we will offer a space and some arguments about it, but the main point is like, we reach an agreement.
It's a generation timescale of innovation, I think. But on the timescale of the planet, it's necessary work that we all have to do, and we all have to play our roles in it.
In this journey on sustainability, in this journey of trying to get to net zero, in this journey to get to 100% circularity, which are all very ideal, it is important to have the courage and to have that vision and to dream of it and to, try as hard as possible to be able to get at least close to where we have an ideal world we want to leave for the children.
Join us at Futur-IC, a global research alliance between industry, academia, government, and communities to create products that enhance our lives in a sustainable way. Let us reduce greenhouse gas emissions and electronic waste by 50% every 10 years. We are all responsible to ensure a better tomorrow.